Hey guys, John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here, and I want to talk to you about some of the iPhone OS 4.0 rumors. That's one of the big things Apple is supposed to focus on in their January 27th keynote. Certainly what they may discuss, it's all rumor and speculation, but there seems to be a lot of attention on iPhone OS 4.0. Boy Genius Report today, which is the 19th of January, had some screenshots of OS 4.0 and went through some of the things that their tipster said it was going to have. So I'm going to run through those and give you sort of my own take on what I think we can expect from iPhone OS 4.0. And let me just clarify, I'm talking about just the operating system. I'm not talking about new iPhone hardware or a new iPhone, which we'll probably see in June or July. So the first thing that Boy Genius reported on was that iPhone OS 4.0 features a way to multitask. Finally, for those of you that have been using Android, Windows Mobile even, or Palm Pre, you've been multitasking to your heart's desire for quite some time now. Us iPhone users that have not jailbroken have been using just one app at a time, and it's painful. So it looks like OS 4.0 is going to really rectify that. Not sure how they're going to handle multitasking. Certainly some sort of expose feature would be quite nice. Palm's deck of cards, I think, is probably the best implementation of multitasking, but really nothing's been said about how Apple is going to handle it and how it's going to handle applications running in the background. Certainly it's going to be a big drain on battery, or a bigger drain on battery, but it should be up to the consumer with how they want to handle their battery maintenance, how they want to handle their phone usage. You know that if you have a lot of applications running on your phone, your battery is going to die quicker. If you want to save battery life, then don't have things running. But it should be up to you. And up until this point, Apple really hasn't given the consumers the choice. So it'd be nice to have a little bit of power back in the hands of the user. I think it would make sense to have a sort of, like I mentioned earlier, an expose feature where you push a button or a hotkey and opens up sort of a view of all your open applications where you can close, open, or select them and go to where you'd like. So the next thing that Boy Genius touched on was that OS 4.0 features multi-touch across all the applications. Multi-touch is really sort of limited to sort of a few key applications. So we're talking photos, web, and a few select other ones. So I'd assume that we're talking multi-touch as far as Stocks application goes, and as far as using the actual OS itself. So when you're on the iPhone's home screen, perhaps you'd be able to use multi-touch to sort of zoom in on a particular screen or a pane and sort of see where you want to go. Having multi-touch actually throughout the OS can add a lot more usability and certainly can increase the range of space from just what you see on the phone to a really infinite number that you can pan or scroll around you. I think that may be the biggest surprise that we see of OS 4.0 is how Apple institutes multi-touch throughout the entire device. The next thing, I know you guys are all wondering, is this going to be available for your iPhone 3G, 3GS, or OG iPhone? And the answer is yes and no. The rumors have it that it's going to be available for iPhone 3G and iPhone 3GS users only. Original iPhone owners, you're out of luck. I would assume that the rollout will be very similar to how OS 3.0 was. It'll be available to developers first. You have a few beta versions of it, and then it'll finally be released to the public. Probably it'll be a free upgrade to the iPhone 3GS, and odds are they're going to charge, I think, $10 is what it was for OS 3.0. It's probably what they're going to charge you for the 3G. If you're an iPod Touch owner, probably the same thing. If you're using a new generation, they're probably going to charge you. If you've got the last generation, probably going to charge you as well. iPod Touch users tend to always get the short end of the stick when it comes to Apple updates. So definitely something to keep in mind. Another thing that Boy Genius mentioned is that there's going to be some sort of new syncing mechanism, a way to sync contacts and calendar with your computer. They didn't really specify what that was, but it leads you to believe that it's going to be some sort of wireless syncing, perhaps some sort of cloud syncing. It'll sync wirelessly up to MobileMe, and MobileMe will shoot it back down to your computer. Or maybe it'll be something new. Who knows? But a way to sync all of your contacts and videos and pictures over Wi-Fi would be quite nice. Imagine just walking in the door to your house, have your phone automatically recognize it's on your home network, and sync up on the computer without you having to do anything. Creating backups. Certainly be a little bit of a strain on your network, but would be a really nice feature, I think, to have. It's definitely something to keep in mind. And the last bit of information, I'm looking off to the side here, I have some notes. It's also going to be, well, we'll leave that one until the end. So let's talk about some of the things that I think OS 4.0 is going to have, and maybe not have. Google Maps is featured very heavily in the iPhone. Certainly the Maps is one of the big things that Apple touted when they first launched the device. And now with the iPhone 3G having GPS and the 3GS really continuing that tradition, maps are a real big important part of the iPhone. But if you're a company like Google that's providing the map software, what's your incentive for giving Apple the ability to use that? You know, Apple is now a competitor of Google as far as the Android versus iPhone OS. I'm not sure what Google is gaining by having the applications on the iPhone. Certainly they're gaining market share, but it doesn't seem like Google's the kind of company that really needs market share that much. There's not much revenue, I don't think, that's driven from it, unless there's sort of a revenue share that Apple has with Google. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a new Maps application in iPhone OS 4.0. Seems like Apple maybe wouldn't want to rely on Google for their maps, and there's been even talks of seeing Apple creating their own mapping software. And it would make sense from a business standpoint to see Apple sort of take off their own and shed Google and really be able to control the mapping software. I think that we'll probably see a turn-by-turn navigation option if that comes to fruition, and certainly none of the Google things that you're used to. Google is still the default search engine in the iPhone browser, mobile Safari. I don't think we're going to see a Bing search engine in there anytime soon, or Yahoo, which uses Bing, and certainly we're not going to see a Go Jeeves be your default search engine on the iPhone. This serves in speculation that I was thinking of. So really that's sort of what we're expecting to see from iPhone OS 4.0. The last thing that maybe Boy Genius touches on that I alluded to a bit earlier was sort of this specter of something brand new that's not expected. Those few things I ran through are what's expected and sort of gradual updates that you would anticipate the evolution of a device. These updates that are coming supposedly are going to make the iPhone more of a mobile computer, and the tablet that's allegedly coming as well, it's a lot of allegedly and speculations coming, is going to be running a similar operating system. So the fact that we're going to have almost a computer device on the iPhone is quite impressive. The iPhone 3GS runs a 600 megahertz processor, certainly not a Snapdragon, but it's definitely fast enough for doing day-to-day applications and certainly capable of doing a lot more than Apple currently allows it to do. So imagine having your iPhone suddenly be able to be a mobile computing portal. So not just running apps, but even some sort of multitasking. To be able to access your actual computer, built-in screen sharing, built-in screen flow. You never know what Apple might do. Being able to have more computer functionality right in the palm of your hand is certainly an exciting proposition. This is more of just a fun video to sort of run through what I think we might have and might see. Certainly it's just complete speculation. I always love this time of year when the Apple keynotes are coming up. Whether you love Apple or hate Apple, it's pretty safe to say that they drive the industry forward. So whether you have no interest in a tablet at all, it's going to be very clear that this tablet device is going to drive the industry. Tablet computers are going to change once this one is released. So again, if you hate Apple and you're a big PC fan, you're going to benefit from these announcements like Apple did with the iPod previously and with the iPhone. And that same thing is going to hold true with the tablet. So it's kind of fun just to speculate and see and share thoughts with you guys. So I'm very curious what you guys have to say. Leave text or video comments. And on a personal note, I don't really generally ever do this, but there's a thing going on right now called the Shorty Awards, where you can nominate your favorite people in a ton of categories that make short video content. And I happen to make short video content in the tech category, so I would love if you guys would throw me your support. You can go to shortyawards.com and hit the select box and drag down to tech and put in John for Lakers, which is my Twitter name, and that's how you vote. It's pretty easy. You can vote for more than one person. The Great Soldier Knows Best is number one. I'd be happy just to get into the top 5. So I'll put a link to that in the sidebar if you want to throw your support. I would certainly appreciate it. Anyway, guys, John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo with my rundown and probably rambling crazy theories on OS 4.0. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.